नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. We were in the Antahkarana of the Antahapuram of Damayanti in her palace. We are following the Bharatam route of Nala's entry into the Antahapuram of Damayanti. We will also have a quick look at the Naishadham route of Nala when he went for the Swayamvara. So to begin with, there is Indra in the heavens, and he gets to hear of the news of Damayanti and her Swayamvara from Narada. So Narada goes to Indraloka, meets Indra. He knows how to speak, he is a master of words, and he has conveyed to Indra that quite the most beautiful girl in all the three worlds. And it's her Swayamvara, all that. And as to what is in her heart, O Devendra, not even the yogis are able to find out, he says. Not even the yogis are able to decipher what is in her heart, because she has kept that locked away. There is a cave in her heart. There is a cave in her heart. That cave is actually the cave of Lajja. It's a shyness cave which is completely locked. And inside that, there is a lion. And that lion, who that lion is, who is to know? She has somebody there whom she loves, they say, but not even yogis are able to find out, etc. Narada says. Now, then he goes away. So Indra is a little bit dumbstruck and he is sitting, and Kamadeva is in his mind, starts playing around a bit in Indra's mind, and tells him, oh Indra, reminds him, listen, your hand is so hot because all the time you are having that Vajrayudham in your hand. So it's so damn hot and it's become so hard. What nonsense is this? You must keep it down for some time and go and hold Damayanti's hand, then it will be cool and you will feel so good. Not just your hand. All this Kamadeva is now telling in his mind. Indra being Indra is now, yes, I think that's a point, etc. And he's sharing it, saying this is a good point, etc. He's thinking. Narada came, he's sharing, he's telling Indrani and others that there's Damayanti apparently and all that. Okay. He's telling all that. So Indrani, Tilottama, Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka, all of them are totally upset that this man, this God, Devendra is now falling for a mere mortal woman. Mere mortal. Why should she? Why should he do that? Whereas, like all the ladies in Ravana's harem, they were also upset that he is falling for a mere mortal woman. What is she? What can she? What is there in her? And all they used to ask him. Like that. Urvashi, in fact, was so angry she became Jadam, it seems. She became like on rock in sheer anger, like a rock that was a boundary Seema marker, boundary marker of Indra's, no more love for Indra kind of thing. Nonsense, etc. She is very upset. And then, of course, Indra sent his people, etc. and found out that looks like there is somebody called Nala who is the leader in this overall thing, enterprise. So naturally, a person who is interested in a certain project will try to understand who the competition is, etc. So when he leaves along with Agni, Vayu, Yama, and Varuna, all of them leave for the Swayamvara, and on the way they decide to figure out about Nala, and they find Nala, and they look at him, and they realize that the game is lost. Indra personally feels that in front of Nala he himself looks like an owl.
Oh God, like an owl and
Okay, he thinks. So he is wondering. He thinks deeply and he says Damayanti is lost in any case, because in all probability she will choose Nala only, the Swayamvara, there is no question. But suppose she doesn't choose Nala, then she is such a fool that there is no point trying to, we don't want her. It is just too foolish. Okay. So like that he is thinking what to do. And but we have to do our job, so they go and they talk to Nala and they tell him, you must be our messenger. All that happens like that. And Nala of course says, no, I am an interested party. He declines, etc. So then Indra speaks to him very nicely and says, no, how can you be like this and all that? Reminds him of the great traditions of Karna, how Karna gave away his entire Kavacham, Kundalam and all that, how Dadichi gave his own life, his own spine, etc. I mean, is it that the world has come to this, that there are no more noble people in the world, etc. and all that? He tells him, the world should remember Nala like they remember Karna and they remember Dadichi and all that. After all, what is there in life? All temporary, mere pleasures, this thing, that thing. Dharma, Dana Dharma, that means immortality. People forever will say like Dadichi, like Karna, like Nala, they'll say. Well, in great detail in Naishadam, he convinces Nala that his dharma is to now take this message and go there and all that. And of course he says, well, how can I go there? There will be military guarding and all that. So here Indra says, not a problem. I will give you one. Ashtasiddhi is there with the Devas. So he says, I will give you one small siddhi which you can use. You can become invisible. So invisibly you can become visible at any time you want. So this you can. He gives him. So Nala then becomes invisible and goes past all the guards. He goes past all the guards and he enters the most beautiful, huge Anthapuram of Damayanti. You can imagine the princess, the Anthapuram. It must be some kind of a, not even the most luxurious of places that you can think of in today's world will be a match for what in those days would have been conceived for the princess of the king. So it must have had fountains, it must have had gardens, it must have had all kinds of silver and jade, and there will be all manners of things inside that. And and Damayanti and all her Sakhis, etc., hundreds of them, they're all there when he enters that place. And poor fellow, he is invisible. Okay. And he enters this place, he has got only all these, with all Damayanti, and you can't find out who is Damayanti because all the girls are looking like Miss World. Okay. All of them are like that, and you can't figure out where he is entered. It's a big problem, and they are all women only. So they are all doing all kinds of things that women do when nobody else is there. So somebody is having a leg massage, somebody is doing whatever they do inside his beauty parlors, and all that they are doing. So this man, he can't keep it. He's ashamed to see what is happening there. Okay, he closes his eyes. He's invisible, but he just smashes his eyes closed, and he doesn't know what. He's just staggering with his eyes closed, and he's banging into girls right, left. He doesn't know. They're also looking what is banging into us, etc. And he doesn't know what to do. He has to open his eyes to figure out who is Damayanti, but he cannot open his eyes because he is a Satpurusha. He cannot see all that nonsense that is happening here. So he takes one deep breath, looks for the exit and runs out of that place. He runs out of that place. But that entire area for a few miles is all her area. That gardens outside, everything and all that. So he runs into that and starts staggering outside. Outside also all girls only are there taking walk, enjoying themselves, all that thing. So here also he can't open his eyes to know what they were wearing at that time. So he again is closing his eyes, and he then again is banging. There some girls walking, her dupatta is banging into him. All that Naishadam is described in great detail. But he's having a tough time outside there. So he's and then he's invisible. But the problem is he's wearing all these ornaments, no, as a king. They are invisible along with them. Only thing is, they reflect. So suddenly these girls are seeing their reflection. They're seeing walking. Suddenly some girl sees her reflection halfway there, no, her face reflected in something. So he's fascinated. Hey, what? And all that. All the girls are looking at their faces and all, getting reflected, and the cat trying to catch it and all that. What is this? And all that. So, suddenly they're feeling something. So they're and all that. Okay, so this man is getting mad. Okay, he can't go left, he can't go right, and all that. Anyway, somehow he managed to think through and says, I have to get back. So he makes his way back to Antapuram, inside that place. And by the time he reaches there, Agni and Vayu and Indra and Varuna and Yama have sent their dutas. They have sent certain representatives. Some ladies have arrived there saying, we are the representatives of Apsaras have come. Saying that the gods are also coming. Oh, Bhaimi, for your Swayamvara. So they have brought gifts in advance. Saying this is what Yama has sent. Like that, they are all giving gifts to Damayanti. They are gifts from Devalokam. Damayanti is looking at it and she is declining. So, no, I can't take it. How can I take this? Etc. She is declining all of that. Very sweetly, she is declining it. Now, Indra, actually, he sends a Parijata Mala. Parijata Mala itself, Indra has sent through one this thing, Duta and Apsara, to saying, kindly give this to Damayanti on behalf of Devendra. So she gives. Now, so then this beautiful garland of flowers, Indra Parijata flowers, celestial flowers is being given, and Nala is watching invisibly. Damayanti accepts that garland. She says, okay, I'll take it. Till now she has declined all the gifts. This one she takes. Nala to almost breaks down. So what is this girl doing? She's taken it, etc.
All the other devas gifts she rejected.
Okay, now
Yama, Varuna and Agni.
his hopes are all blown away. I mean, Nala says, now gone. He's blown away along with the fragrance of the garland. He says, it's all over now. Now what she does, and she just takes it, that flower garland in her hand, and she puts it to her eyes, and then she prays. She prays, saying, I can't decline this is a gift from Devendra, I have to accept this. But I pray, and she prays in her mind to the Devas to help her to choose the right man, Nala, as her Lord. Like that she prays mentally. And she keeps it. And then they all go away, the Dutas go away, then slowly now he gathers his mind, and Nala makes himself visible to Damayanti. Now he knows Damayanti, all these Apsaras had come and etc. He makes himself visible to Damayanti. Damayanti and her Sakhis are dumbstruck. There's this most handsome young king or prince or whatever in the midst of them. They are all dumbstruck. And Damayanti itself is finished seeing this man. And she actually, slowly she asks him, who may you be, sir? Kind of thing. So he says, I am a messenger. Like these other messengers who came, I am also a messenger of the gods. The gods have sent me as a messenger. And he tells the message, and then he asks her, he requests her in all cordiality, I request you, please do not disappoint Devendra. He has set his heart on you. He has asked me to convey this to you. All the pleasures of Devalokam are yours for the asking. And there are nothing compared to here. Here is compared to what is in Devalokam. And it is all yours, etc. He tells her. And he tells her, you also have to be careful because you see, Kamadeva was burnt by Lord Shiva in anger, and Lord Shiva has only got 3 eyes. But Indra has 1,000. So it's not a wise thing to make him angry. Not that, but if you would just say yes, he'll be most happy, etc. He tells her. He goes on and on like this. So she can't stand it a little bit, then she smiles at him sweetly. Whenever a girl smiles sweetly, maybe he's angry, she smiles. And then she tells him that your speech, oh king, is like, your speech is like Saraswati. And she pauses, and then she says, river. Okay. It is dry. There's no water. There's no water in like Saraswati river. Then he says, you tell me, what is your name? And what is your kulam? Okay. First tell me who you are. He blabbers something which has got no real consequence. That doesn't answer that question properly. It's like asking somebody, are you married? And he says, Hanuman is not married. No, what is the question? We are asking something, he is blabbering something else. He is not saying who is Duta or something he is saying. Then he says, no, I am a Duta here. My personal identity is of no consequence. It doesn't matter who I am, etc. In any case, noble people, noble people do, he says, noble people do not speak of themselves. He says. She says, I don't know about that, but noble ladies do not speak to men that they don't know who they are speaking to. Okay. We don't speak to just arbitrary people. Then to make bring some semblance of order, the Sakhis say, no, they intervene. And they say that, you must understand, whoever you are, that our Sakhi, Princess Damayanti's heart is already set on someone. So this Duta business is not going to work. Her heart is set on King Nala already. And she is not going to think of marrying anybody else. So there. Tell him. Har Namah Parvati Pataye Janaki Kanta Smaranam Gopika Jivana Smaranam Vetrivel Muruganukku Shri Sadguru Swaminah Shri Anjaneya Swaminah